Well, you introduce them to this vibe. Don't introduce people to something that you can't maintain, and now you sitting here looking stupid because you can't afford what you put out there.
Talk that talk.
So, hey,
Talk
there's
that
no
talk.
particular number to me. If you somebody that got her like that and money isn't an issue and you want to take her on some expensive experience, that's fine, right? If you want to spend $100, $200, $1,000, whatever, that it is completely up to you. As for me, I believe in introducing somebody to a situation where we can be comfortable, that we're both going to enjoy, and putting them in a situation where we can focus on what we have between each other and not what money has to be spent.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a
What's up? What's up? You are now listening to FY Fly the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to...
What's up, my fly folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FY Fly podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today, we're going to be chopping it up with 24-year-old best-selling author, motivational speaker, and investor, Mr. Myles Harris, a.k.a. Myles The Millennial, baby. How you doing, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited to get on here, talk to your audience, and have an amazing conversation.
Yes, sir, bro. I know you're going to drop a lot of gems, man, because I see, what you're doing out here, man. 24, got your own book, got your own podcast, speaking, man. We relate in so many ways, and the fact that we both from Houston is crazy.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's that H-Town connection, doing big things.
Big facts, bro. So, really, man, here at FY Fly, we like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff, bro. So I wanted to bring you on the show because I love how you mix your financial content with relationship content as well. So what made you really choose that path, bro?
Yeah, for me, man, it was a need to specify what was going to be my niche in the things that I talked about. When I realized that I wanted to be a speaker, that I wanted to give people advice and help them and write books, I knew I had to keep it narrowed down, or else what exactly would people want to come to me for? You can't do everything.
That's huge.
So, and that's a business tip right there. The riches are in the niches.
We're going to have to elaborate on that a little later, cuz.
Look, the riches are in the niches, y'all. But the key to that was for me to reach deep within myself then and say, okay, what am I most passionate about talking about? Where are the areas where I think I can have the most impact? And I knew that those three areas were going to be financial literacy, relationship advice for young adults, and then very specific advice for young adult men. That's my target audience. I don't really speak on women that much in terms of like what a woman need to do and what's right and wrong for women, because I'm a man, so I try not to go too deep into that. But that's why I made sure I stuck with those three areas. And quite honestly, when you see that how well they flow together, you see 60%, I believe, of marriages that do end in a divorce end because of financial reasons. So money,
that's crazy.
Yeah, money is crucial to your success in any relationship, whether it's in your interpersonal life or with other people. So that's why.
I love how so we definitely going to have to touch back on that niching down.
Yep.
Because a lot of, especially our age group, but even a lot of people are just getting out there, just starting. They're doing 50 million things. They're known, like you said, they're known as a speaker. They're known as this. They're known as that. They're known as this. They're known as that. So like you said, nobody really knows what to come to them for.
Yeah.
So for our young folks listening, like, where's that balance between, okay, let's try a lot of different things to find our passion, but when we do find that passion, like niching down, so where do you feel like that balance can come for our young folks listening?
It has to come from, you have to understand there's probably only 2 or 3 ways that you want to make this decision, and you got to figure out which one you want to choose. So you can base that decision on purpose. What is the thing that just makes me feel the most purposeful, that I'm most inspired to do? You can base it on profit, right? What's going to give me the most money the quickest?
Yeah.
Or you can base it on just impact, right? What is the thing that people need the most? To me, those are the 3 questions that you have to ask yourself. And I chose to go with purpose, right? And it's not a wrong answer to any of these 3, because you'll probably find a way to do all 3 of them somehow, some way. But you got to choose an area to focus. And so for me, when I chose purpose, I knew that I wanted to use my words, right? So once you realize that purpose is what you're going to go for, I want my business to be focused on purpose, my talent, whatever, to be focused on purpose. You need to identify what is it that's your strength, because you may be good at a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff may come easy, but there is one or two things that you just do better than everybody else. And for
And
me,
a lot of times it's natural.
yeah, exactly.
It comes
And for
natural.
me, mine has always been using my words, whether that's written or spoken, to impact people. That simple.
Okay.
I said, all right, now how do I turn that into a purpose, right? I identify what that talent is. I know that I want to use it in purpose. And that's when you're able to say, okay, I'm going to write a book. And then you can discuss, okay, well, what's the book going to be about, right? It's those step by step. Sometimes everybody wants to kind of jump the process, right? And okay, well, I want to write a book, but while I'm writing the book, I'm going to start this podcast. And then while I'm starting the podcast, I'm going to go out in the community and do that. And while all those things are great, what you're going to find is, and what I had to find is, when you spread yourself too thin, nothing is ever done as well as it should be.
That's fact.
You know, you only have so much high quality talent and content and energy that you can put out into the world. And so when you spread yourself too thin, it kind of leads to you not being able to master anything, right? You're a jack of all trades, master of none. And that's how you figure it out. You got to ask that question. Is it going to be impact, profit, or purpose? And then from there, you can really narrow down what route to go.
And I love that, bro. I love that, bro. Because I feel like it though finding those three things is key, but you also need to realize and have self-awareness of where you are in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have kids that are depending on you, if you have dependents, not even just kids, if you have, you know, an elderly mother, elderly parent, you know, it could be, you know, right now with us being so young, we have decades to chase this dream. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But on the other end, you know, if and that's why I think self-awareness is so key.
Yes.
You know, if you have something where it's detrimental that you have to go make income, then you have to work that 9 to 5. You have to do what it takes to get that income.
Yep.
But then you also have to work that 6 to 12, making the podcast after work, editing after work, and doing things of that nature.
Exactly.
So I'm glad you touched on that. But I'm ready to get into this relationships.
Let's
man.
go. Let's go.
That's what I want to chop it up about, man. Because
I'm going to give you some clips. I promise you.
yes, sir. I already know it. Because it really feels like, you know, I go on social media and you see the infamous question, bro. Like, how much should we be spending on the first date, bro? What's the money rules for the first date? Any spending limits? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Man, I don't think there's an exact number. I think it goes back to what we already said about self-awareness, right? So never, and I will say this again, never trick yourself out of your position to try and impress anybody. You going out on a first date, and let's say you're a man who believes in paying for that first date. I believe whoever's the one asking, you pay. Or at least if you're not going to be the one paying, express that beforehand and say, hey, you know, I'm tight on money. Can we do something like this where we don't have to spend any bread? Right. So if you're honest with yourself and you're aware and you say, hey, I do really want to talk to this girl, but I know I don't necessarily have the finances right now to take her out. Well, then maybe you present her with an idea. As a man, you take control of that situation. You step in and say, hey, I would love to go out with you. I would like to take you on to this particular festival, right? There's plenty of free festivals in the city all the time. Go to a free movie festival. They do outdoor ones during the summer, or a barbecue
They're going to vibe
fest.
with that experience more than just a little dinner date.
Exactly. Come up with something creative that works within your means. And see, the problem is everybody wants to play the game how everybody else plays it rather than playing the game how they need to play it. And then you wonder why you get played. Like you're not operating the way you should, man. You set yourself up for failure, because then you look at her when she asks you to buy her this and ask her to buy her that. And this is something I experienced in my own relationship. And you're like, man, you asking for too much. Why you think that this is a requirement? And it's like, well, you introduced them to this vibe. Don't introduce people to something that you can't maintain. And now you sitting here looking stupid because you can't afford what you put out there.
Talk that talk.
So, you know, hey, there's no particular number to me. If you somebody that got it like that and money isn't an issue and you want to take her on some expensive experience, that's fine, right? If you want to spend $100, $200, $1,000, whatever, that it is completely up to you. As for me, I believe in introducing somebody to a situation where we can be comfortable, that we're both going to enjoy, and putting them in a situation where we can focus on what we have between each other and not what money has to be spent. So I think that's the
Makes
answer
sense.
that makes sense for anybody in any situation.
Because I honestly feel like, bro, in this day and age, like social media kind of, puts that pressure on us that men have to have tons of money to take these women out. But the way I look at it, I get more return on investment from putting my time and my energy in my business.
Boom.
I get more return on investment from putting my time into FY Fly than taking a little lady out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get your thoughts as a young man or a young woman. Is it wrong to prioritize yourself and your dreams, over in your passions over the pursuit of a significant other?
Yeah. Not only is it not wrong to do that, it's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. While you're young and you're independent and you have, a lack of some of these responsibilities that you'll have as you get older. You're not married to nobody. You don't have any kids, whatever, right? That means your life is your own. So whatever it is that's important to you in your life is what you should be focusing on. It's what should always come first. And, this is something that I've talked to a lot of my friends about, something that I talk about on my social media platforms, stuff that I talk about with my own girlfriend. At the end of the day, the number one priority in my life is nobody else but the things that I'm trying to achieve and what I'm working towards, because this is the time that I have for it. When I become 30, 40, 50 years old and I have a wife, I have a kid and all these other responsibilities, a lot of times the stuff that you have for yourself got to come second to those things, or third or fourth or fifth. Do you want to spend your life now in your 20s acting like you have the responsibilities of a 30, 40, 50-year-old? Or do you want to actually be young and do the things that you're supposed to do with your youth, which is go for your dreams, put every single effort and time and second into the things that you really want? Now, when you're ready, and this is where that honesty comes in, that self-awareness. When you're ready and you can maintain a relationship and you want a relationship, it is completely fine to add them into the equation. But do not at any expense put your dreams and your future on the back burner for somebody else. Because the second you do that, you will lose your purpose.
No cap. And I want to know, have you experienced any backlash from friends, regarding your friends or significant other regarding the pursuit of your goals, and like, how have you dealt with that?
Yeah, no, I've never experienced any form of backlash from that, but I will say that, and this is more so from a relationship perspective, because with the guys, bro, everybody focused on their own goals. It's not even a question. But when you got a girl, that's a whole different discussion. Right. My girl is one of my biggest supporters, my biggest motivators. I come to her when I have ideas. She has helped me through a lot of the things that go on that people think come together all smooth. She was the one that said, that's not the way to go about it. That doesn't look good. Try it this way. Right. But at the same time, she wants time. She wants your energy. She wants your focus. And what I had to learn and have to mature was learning how to organize my time and be a man of my word, right? Because what I had to realize was, it's not that, let's say a situation where we plan to go on a date and then I end up having a podcast pop up or a speaking engagement pop up. It's never for her about the fact that I had the speaking engagement. She's proud of that. More so for her is the fact that, well, why wasn't the communication better? Why is it that you didn't put that on your calendar so that way when somebody asks you, was this the right day, to a good time to do this podcast, you didn't have our date documented. And so it got pushed to the side. Right. And so what I had to learn is, when you organize, if you're with somebody that's understanding, it'll eliminate a lot of problems. But if you're sitting there, and I've done this countless times, and this year I made a very valiant effort and a big effort on not allowing this to happen anymore. I was always pushing a lot of my personal relationship things to the side, whether that was family, friends, friends, and relationship to the side for, other things that would pop up. But it was because I wasn't planning properly. So I would forget that, I'm supposed to be here on this weekend, and now I'm over in this place. And they're like, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot. Yeah. A person can only take so much of you putting them to the side and forgetting about them. And so I had to learn how to prioritize. I had to learn how to plan, and that eliminated pretty much all those issues. That's how you solve that.
And bro, what's crazy? You know how they say, how time and money is the most valuable assets. It's crazy that you have to divvy up your time just the same way that you divvy up and control and master your money.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, but it's literally needs to be managed the same exact way.
Yes.
Like you have to allocate your time. You have to delegate some of your tasks to free up some of your time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to really think about the connection between that time and money.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, and I live by this. Whatever you do not intentionally plan for will run away from you. It does not matter. You can think of anything in your life. If you don't plan your money, if you don't intentionally plan your time, you will find yourself losing it. You'll never have enough time. You'll always be running out of money and never have enough money. If you don't plan that quality time for your relationship, if you don't plan the time for your family members, you will push these people away. Doesn't matter what, anything you can think of, your talents, if you're not planning time to work on them and hone them in, they will run away from you. You will not reach your full potential. And so being intentional about everything that you have in your life is a cheat code, and you cannot cut any corners. And the second you start cutting corners, it'll be very easy for you to recognize why this particular area of your life is in shambles.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I think that is the hardest point for people to really grasp is your decisions that you made last year, 2 years ago, is why you're here
Exactly.
in this present day.
Exactly.
So the decisions that we making now is why we're gonna be where we're gonna be in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And I want to touch on those toxic relationships. I want to get on the opposite end of the spectrum and go to those toxic relationships, because we talked about having an understanding relationship and you know how that can benefit you and how that can blossom you. But let's touch a little bit on the toxic relationships, because this is something that probably everyone has gone through or will go through in the future. So it's honestly a hindrance. Like it slows down your growth, it slows down your impact, therefore slowing down your income. So bro, can you elaborate on the impact of a toxic relationship? Yo, are you ready to hit your next level? Do you want to increase your drive, destiny, and dollars? Well, if so, check out my new book, From College to COVID, 24 Lessons Learned During the Lockdown, where I've compiled 5 of the biggest lessons I learned going from college to COVID to starting my financial literacy empire, FY plus 19 lessons from your favorite entrepreneurs, entertainers, and athletes that have been featured on our show. There's literally something for everyone. So purchase your copy today at fyfly.com/From College to COVID. Let's go.
Yeah, I definitely can. So think about it like this, and I know this will be a fact for me and pretty much everybody that I know. When you are in a relationship, they are probably the person you talk to the most. Right? You probably talk to them more than you talk to your folks, your friends, everything. Like the person you're dating is probably the person you talk to the most, day in, day out, on a every hour, whatever basis, however often you talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, and imagine if the person who you give the most of your energy to is draining all of it, is taking it away, is diverting it, is disrupting it. There's no way you're going to be able to be your best self in all the other areas of your life if the person who you give the most time to is killing you. It's impossible. And it'll affect every single thing that you do, because you'll walk around with a certain type of energy and spirit that is not what you were created to be. Right? You'll have this, whether it's anger, despair, depression, just being upset, feeling like less than. It will affect every single fiber of your being. And when you have a healthy partner, it boosts all those things. It helps you. It creates an environment where you can get through life that much easier, that much less difficult, if you will. But, you know, there's a saying that I love to live by. You know, it's like in any situation, doing the right thing or reaching out for help or anything, it doesn't make life easier, but it does make it less difficult. Well, with a toxic relationship, I'll say it the opposite way. When you're in a toxic relationship, it makes everything more difficult, right? 100%. Life will always be a challenge. You will always have things that you face. You will run into problems. The key to planning, the key to being self-aware, the key to all these things that we're talking about, prioritizing your money, is to make life less difficult when those things come. But have the wrong person by your side, and you will run into unnecessary road bumps and obstacles around every corner because they're dragging you down.
Bro, and when I left Tennessee, when I left Maryville College where I was playing ball at, bro, I literally cut off every single person that wasn't adding to what I was doing as far as my business, if they weren't supporting, there was no reason for me to give them any of my energy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that was actually the third lesson in my book, was to eliminate distractions and cut off all negativity. And I want to point out how you actually said, how you made it clear that person in a relationship is the person that you're talking to the most. So you're interacting with them the most. You're around them all the time. So that's literally their, like you said, bro, their attitude, their aura is literally becoming over you.
Yes.
So if you have that passion, or you have that goal and that dream to be, you know, accomplish your goals, and they're taking that away from you, or they're halting you from getting there, they have to go.
Yep. Imagine if
they have to go. Bro.
Imagine if you got somebody where when you present an idea, they shoot it down. When you presented your podcast or your book, they shot it down. Oh, that's not gonna work, bro. Or I don't think you should do it that way, babe. That doesn't make any sense. I think that's a bad idea. You need to just focus on what you're doing with your degree and not, you know. And we all have those people in our life who don't believe, who don't see it.
And you know why it's big though? Because we're talking about relationships. That person has that their opinion matters to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's huge, bro.
And it's like, even if you go at it by yourself, to go ahead and do it, even though they say no, it's gonna always be stuck in the back of your mind.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro, it was so much easier for me to remove people from my circle and get the wrong people from out of my circle once I left college.
Yeah.
So for them college students and high school students still listening that see them people every day.
Yep.
How can they remove those negative people from their circles?
Oh man. So it's a couple things, right? So first, I'm gonna start with saying, the people who you interact with, that you're forced to interact with, or your environment, it determines a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so if those people are in your friend groups, that is completely within your control. I don't care if you have to see them every single day, but that doesn't mean you have to be talking to them every single day. It doesn't mean you have to share your ideas and your dreams with them every single day. That's a choice. And so environment is everything. While they may be on your college campus and you got to see them, the least you can do is get around some people who are achievers, some people who actually care, who believe in what you have going on. Put yourself in a different environment where they're promoting people to try new things and to go find out for themselves, to take risks. Go be around those people. That's one thing that you can do. But the second thing that you can do is really frame your life and understand that, you know, you can die tomorrow. This I always say, anything. Whenever I think about whether I'm gonna do something or whether I'm not, whether it's worth it or whether it isn't, if I ask myself deep down, would I regret not doing this particular thing if I was on my deathbed? If that answer is yeah, I'd regret it, then I know I need to go do it. It's that simple. Now, if I say, nah, I wouldn't regret this, then I know that the decision I'm making it's either not that important to me or it's the wrong decision to make.
Makes sense.
But I just frame life like we have limited time to do all these things that we want to do. And if you're allowing people to have that type of influence on you, it's because you're not seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is that who cares what they got to say? They don't matter. Because when it comes down to paying your bills, when it comes down to solving your problems, having your back, where will those people be? They're not going to be there. It's going to be you. And if you have some people that's really locked in with you, then it'll be them too. But at the end of the day, for sure, it's going to be you that has to deal with the choices that you make. And so if you're allowing those people to be around you, just know that you are, like I just said, allowing it. It's not, you're not forced to be in any of these situations. I don't care if you see them every single day. You have a choice to walk past them and not give them that energy and go hang with a new crew, go hang solo dolo, or join a club that's more, prosperous for you. You have those choices, but don't let your desire to be cool or wanted or feel accepted get in the way of your progress and your promotion.
And I love, what's your famous quote, man? Hit him with it, man.
Change your mind, change your life.
Come on, baby.
It's crucial, because those people you put around you, you could be one person away, either removing one person or adding one person to changing the whole perspective and trajectory of your life. And I think when you frame it to people that way, it makes it so much more realistic to them, because that really is how close you are, right? You're one conversation, one vulnerability, one idea away from going places that you may have always saw yourself at, but never thought you could achieve. So It's all about the people you put around you, who's impacting your mind, the things that you're consuming. They all play a part.
100%. Because even, and this is like on social media, you know, if you start to consume, you know, more, you know, instead of watching all the fight pages and watching all the drama pages, you know, if you start to consume more of our content, to be honest, if you started to consume more, not even just straight educational, but, you know, informational content on things that matter to you and things that can improve your life, like self-improvement, like financial literacy, and following your passion, then your lifestyle and you can really change from the things that you're viewing. So I think the messages that we're talking about here today can really impact these folks if they apply it. So not just learn this information, but actually apply it. You know what I'm saying? Because even going on your page, bro, I saw a post and it said, you know, something about a man or a woman paying all the bills gives them like automatic control. So like with that being said, is that something you believe we should be striving for? Or would you suggest splitting the bills, you know, on the financial literacy tip? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I suggest that people learn how to be so self-aware that they desire partners that want to be partners. Right? And what that means is, if it means that I'm paying all the bills and you have these particular household duties to take care of, whatever, those will be our roles, right? But we're committed to that on both ends. What I find is a lot of people want their cake and you know, want to have their cake and eat it too. Right? And I don't think that they're realistic about what they're doing, right? Or how things are rooted. So let's just talk about why I made that post. I saw a number of people pushing this whole man pays all the bills thing, but they're also the same people who push, you know, about a woman's independence and also push about, you know, having a household that's healthy in nature. And I just, you know, had a question for a lot of them. Like, have y'all ever noticed that a large portion of women who are unhappy in relationships, oftentimes they don't pay the bills, right? And what I've seen happen is when you're with an egotistical man, right? And this is why I say you got to find a partner who wants to actually be a partner. When you're with the egotistical man or egotistical woman and they pay everything in that house, they use that as leverage anytime something is not going the way they want it to go. And that will make you an unhappy person in an unhappy household. If every single time you turn around, well, I pay these bills, so what I say goes, right?
And they're going to throw that in
They're
your face.
going to throw that in your face.
Time.
Can you deal with that? And that's my question. Is that worth it to you? To not have to work, is it worth it to be with somebody who every single time you got an opinion on something, every single time that you think something, a better way something should go, or you see a problem in the relationship or in the household, they can shut you down by holding over your head that they pay all the bills. And therefore, their word means more than yours. Now, see, if you're with a man who's not egotistical like that, and he can pay those bills and not ever use it as leverage, then cool. Do what works for y'all. And I'll also say, as a man, you living by this archetype of paying all them bills. I know a whole lot of men that's depressed, that committed suicide, that have torn themselves down and are completely unhappy, and they've been in marriages and all this stuff because they pay all them bills because they think that's what a man's supposed to do, right? They're living on this concept. That's what a man's supposed to do. A man's supposed to pay all the bills in this house, right? And because they're living by this, they have put themselves in this situation where they put so much pressure on their shoulders and they're not happy. And you get to a point to where you thought paying all these bills and being quote unquote the man was supposed to make you happy. And now you're lost and you have no identity about who you really are. I'm going to be real with you. Life is a whole lot easier when you got somebody to help you, when you got somebody to support you. Like, why do you have to do it all on your own? If you got it like that, great. But a lot of men break their backs, make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year to provide for a family of four. And all their money got to go to everybody else. They're unhappy because they never have any time. They're at a job that they hate, but they can't leave because they pay all the bills. You don't have any flexibility when you're the only breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? It all falls on you. You don't have any balance. And gender roles, all that stuff create an environment where people are forced to do things that may not be the best thing for them. And that's what I want people to realize. It's not about who pays the bills. It's about doing what you and your partner figure out are your strengths and your weaknesses and coordinating like that. So
Man, I love that, man. Now I want to transition into, off the dating scene and more into the fin lit, baby, because this is FY Fly.
Yes, sir.
So I really want to know, like, in your opinion, can you lace us up on how much social media actually plays into our spending habits?
Your Explore page will tell you everything you want to know.
No.
If you want to know who you are and what you think about, go to your Explore page on Instagram. Because what pops up on that Explore page is going to be things that you like, that you watch the most. They're going to continuously hit you. The algorithm is designed that way, right?
Yep.
Like, I know my Explore page, every time it pops up, is going to have one of maybe 3 or 4 things on it. It's either going to be talking something with financial literacy, money, food, because I love to cook, the Dallas Cowboys, because I'm a diehard fan, or boxing, because I really just started to get into that. But every last one of those serves a purpose in my life, and it's intentional. I go on that platform to see those things, right?
Makes sense.
No girl is popping up on my Explore page in a bikini. That's not happening because I've removed that as a desire from my life. I don't want it. That's a distraction. That is turmoil. I don't need it. It gotta go. Because what I see will be what I believe, like you just said. So if you're not following people who are giving you advice on how to grow in these particular areas, you want to be a better stock or crypto investor, you need to be following people who are actually doing that. If you want to be a better person in your relationship, stop following people who are in and out of drama every time you turn around. Go follow somebody who's been in a relationship for the past 30 years and they're giving game on how they made it work.
And that makes it much easier.
It makes it
bro,
so much
because when I
easier.
first dove into this financial literacy game, jumping out of college, bro, you know how I started getting all these guests? I'm literally going on hashtag pages,
Exactly.
hashtag financial literacy, hashtag credit,
Yep.
hashtag black wealth. And I'm finding these people, I'm following the pages. If I like them, like what they're talking about, boom, I'm shooting the DM.
Yep.
Just hitting them in the DMs. If they respond, it's up.
Yep.
Let's hop on the interview. If they don't, it's all right.
Yep.
Because I'm shooting my shot at some other people that I like. And this is kind of why I tell people I love doing financial literacy instead of just investing. Because with financial literacy, bro, I can talk to anyone because the underlying theme of everything that we do is behind money.
Yes.
It may not be everybody's first,
Exactly.
intuition or first topic, but you definitely have some motivation. Everybody has some motivation behind that money, and it's for different reasons.
Exactly.
Whether it's to take care of yourself, whether it's to take care of your family, whether it's to take care of anything, or whether it's for you to travel and go fun and turn up.
Boom.
But that money is a tool.
Exactly. It has
know
to
what
be
I'm
there. That you
100%.
you got a spot on. You got a spot on, bro.
For sure, bro. So, we usually like to ask this question to, our guests, but since we got my man Myles the Millennial on here, we're going to switch it up a little bit because we usually like to ask, one positive money habit and one negative money habit. But I want to get from you, give our fellas one red flag to look for or to look out for in women, and then give our women one red flag to look out for in men.
Yeah, I like this. All right. So, fellas, one red flag to look out for in a woman. Okay. When you, and this is a big one for women because I see this more with women than I see with men.
Okay.
Watch how she acts when she's upset. So crucial. Watch how she treats people when she's upset. Anybody can be a great, kind, sweet, all that person when they're happy, when nobody's bothering. That's easy.
Yeah.
Don't fall for the okie doke though. Right? My pops used to say, he's like, if you talking to a girl and let's say you haven't seen her talk to her parents in a few, days or mention her parents. Hey, I mentioned your parents in a while. What's going on? Oh, I haven't talked to them in a few weeks. They made me mad. Huh?
A few weeks?
Few weeks.
Huh?
Now, if she can go
Yeah.
days or weeks without talking to her parents because they upset her, what do you think she could do to you when you're mad? Like, stop thinking you're the exception to the rule. You're not. You're not that special, bro. I'm telling you. Nobody is that special to where whatever the habit a certain person has, that it won't be applied to you whenever they get triggered. No, you're going to catch it too. If she gives people hell whenever she's upset, if she's disloyal, if she talks about people behind their back, if she's running to you every time something happened with her friends and she talking mess about them, she not saying none of this stuff to their face. She not being supportive. She's not coming with solutions. It's not just venting, like she's trash talking them. Don't think that if y'all go through some problems and y'all break up that she not talking about y'all.
Tell you up.
Come on now.
Yeah.
How you sitting here surprised that she going off on you on social media, sharing all this stuff about your relationship, and you know she was doing that with other people. She did it with this dude. Oh no, he just pissed me off so much. That's why he got it like that. No, that's your character. Believe her actions. It'll show you what you need to know.
Big fact.
As for the ladies, be very aware of a man who lacks any desire and vision for himself.
Okay.
Because if I'm gonna put it like this, and submission is a topic that people talk about a lot, and I have my own view on it. But regardless of whether you believe you have to submit to your husband or to your partner or whatever, or if y'all both submit to God, whatever it is you believe, put it like this. The man has a tremendous, not only influence, but power in the direction the relationship is going to go. And if you're a woman with any promise to your life, you got a future, you're grinding towards something, whether you're in school or you got your own business or you're learning a trade, whatever it is, and you know you got something going for you, do not get with a man who lacks vision because you're betting on his potential. Don't do it. And the reason why is because you're going to find yourself dragging him along the way, trying to get him to see his own potential or to figure out what it is that he wants to do. And it's going to tear you apart and it's going to slow you down. And I see this countless times. As much as I see the stuff with the fellas and that type of woman, I see this with the women a lot. You're with the dude who is beneath your level. He doesn't have a desire to better himself, or he says he has a desire. And this goes back to actions. He says he has a desire, but he is not willing to change it.
And I think that energy is contagious as well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I was saying with you when we was just texting, when we just DMing. Like, bro, I feel the energy,
Facts.
you know what I'm saying, through the phone, bro.
Yeah.
Just watching you come like, dang, bro, I be on the same stuff, bro. And just seeing how we relate so much is just crazy, man. I'm happy that it's people like us.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? It's people doing what we're doing at this age that look like us, that came from the same places that, you know, other folks came from and made it out and are still putting out this information, putting out this content, not having that self-serving content, but literally almost every post that we have on our Instagram has value, has some sort of purpose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel that's huge, bro. Man, I really appreciate you for jumping on the show, man. This was amazing, bro.
Yes,
let them folks know where to find you, how to contact you and all that.
Yes, man.
This was fire, bro.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Myles.The Millennial, Twitter, The Myles Mindset, TikTok, Myles The Millennial. Everything, if you type in Myles The Millennial, it'll pop up. You can go to my website to order my best-selling book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, A Young Adult Guide to Fulfillment. It's 9 chapters, less than 100 pages of some of the best advice you could have. It addresses a lot of different areas of your life. I also got merch, so if you want to buy a shirt, you can go on my website. You can purchase them from there as well. And just remember, y'all, anything that you want to do, anything you want to achieve, it's all possible if you change your mind to change your life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, like I said, we really appreciate it, bro. And thank y'all for listening to all these gems. Like I said, we need y'all to make sure that y'all soak up these gems, learn these gems, and then apply them to your life. So I need everybody listening to stay safe, stay invested, and stay FY fly. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for listening to FY Fly, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI Fly Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.